Hola clase, hoy vamos a aprender, we're gonna learn how to ask and answer questions in Spanish. Today we're gonna learn about a lot of type of questions. You don't need to remember all of them right now. This is your first, second, third week of studying Spanish. You are not required to learn everything. So how do you ask a question in Spanish? We're gonna look at a few rules. Rule number 1. Like in English, a question in Spanish starts with an interrogative. For example, why, who, what. Also, the word order in a question is different than in a normal sentence, as you can imagine. And third, this is a very big difference between English and Spanish. The sentence starts with an inverted question mark. You will also see an inverted exclamation mark in Spanish, like this. So you start with a question mark, inverted, upside down, and then you have a question mark at the end, which is very fun. And now we're gonna learn all the interrogatives, or how you say in English, the WH words. And we can see here that we have quién, qué, dónde, cuándo, por qué. And then we have more. Cómo, how, cuál, cuánto, cuánta. As you remember the other lesson about the gender agreement, we can see that some of them also have gender agreement based on the noun and singular or plural. So cuánto, cuánta, cuántos, cuántas. And now I'm going to give you some examples of some question sentences. For example, ¿quién es la dentista? One more example. ¿Cómo se escribe tu nombre? ¿Cuántos libros hay? And you can see here the gender and number agreement here. ¿Cuántos libros? We're talking about more books. And now we're going to look at the word order in the questions. As you can imagine, we start with the question word, the interrogative. Then we put the verb, and then we put the subject. This is true most of the time. ¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono? Or you can also form a question by putting question marks around a statement. ¿Eres estudiante? Question mark at the beginning and at the end. Are you a student? ¿Estudia biología? ¿Y tú? And you? And how to answer a question? There are many ways, but the easiest way is to say either yes, sí, or no. So if the answer is yes, we can use sí más plus the verb. And so in this case, ¿eres estudiante? Sí, soy estudiante. And then we can also answer a question with a no, if we want to have a negative statement. No, no plus verb. And see that there is kind of like the repetition of two no's. No, comma, no. And let's see an example. ¿Estudia biología? No, no estudio biología. And then if you want keep going, you can say yo estudio español. Yo estudio francés. Some things to remember. This is very important. When you use this word to form questions, they always have an accent. So you always have to remember to put an accent on the question words, the interrogative words. ¿Cómo te llamas? And you can see that there is an accent on the O. Sometimes additional interrogatives are used with prepositions. If there is a preposition, for example, a, de, con, para, this preposition goes before the question word. ¿De dónde eres? ¿Con quién vas al cine? Con, with who? You might not understand all of this. It will take time, so don't worry. Vamos a practicar. Adiós.